All right, everyone, welcome. We have the Ugly Bros on with us. Thank you so much for coming, Serge.
Thank you. With you, it's always a pleasure.
Yeah, likewise. So, you were telling me just a little bit before we started about your season two beard.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. This has been 5 months in the making. Look at that.
Uh huh.
Five,
So honestly, because of Ugly Bro number seven, I thought, or just any one of those, Fable, is that his name?
that's stable, yeah.
Yeah, I thought that you always had your beard like that, and I thought that that character was inspired from you.
It was. So that's my doppelganger. He's the HR.
Hmm.
He's in the HR department of the Ugly Bros.
Oh, fair
That's what
enough.
we. But yes, that it was inspired by the beard.
What does he handle in the HR department?
He handles all sorts of inquiries. Baby mama inquiries.
Oh
He
my
handles.
god. Oh my gosh.
I just redirect him to Fable. Fable takes care of everything for me.
Uh huh. Yeah, perfect. Cool, man. Yeah, so as I said in my season one video, the first time that I saw Ugly Bros was you creating the song number seven, or the one attached to Ugly Bro number seven. Was that the first song that you released to Twitter? Do you remember?
It was one of the first, one of the
first,
first.
yeah.
But I think it's to what you're saying. It's the one that got the most credit and people
Traction.
really want.
Yeah. Yeah, that one's hot.
I love it. If there's songs that I have a bunch of songs that I'm like, I'll give this one, but then I'm just like, maybe I shouldn't give this one away because there's an attachment to it. But
Uh-huh.
I'm very happy that you have it. I'm very happy actually.
Yeah, and was there a specific inspiration for that song?
Um, Actually, that song I've been working with, I'd say over 2 years, just having it there, and it was just we go based on emotion. Like I think every song is emotional and artistic in a different way, which is pretty cool. Yeah, I've had that kind of specific song for now 2 years, and it was just like it just made sense.
Mm-hmm.
And I finished it while we were doing season one.
Dude, that one rocks, and I think it makes sense that it got as much traction as it did. I think that's what really took Ugly Bros off too, and I think I remember even Crypto Drams retweeted that one or something
Oh yeah,
back in the day. Yeah, I'm still trying to convince him to get Ugly Bros.
it's okay. It probably when we're too late. It's okay. It's okay.
The floor is still very affordable for season ones, even with the season two announcement of the whitelist. I think
Yes,
it's a pretty good entry point.
yeah. As a creator, I mean, I'm not really focused on floor.
100%.
However, season one is going to have its value.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be very different than season two. And it's very intriguing because, as you know, like we've been working now since basically September, and we went from like season one to not being able to build, because in a Discord of 7.5K people with only 1,000 NFTs, there's a value in the collection, but there's no real sense of community, right?
Right,
And this
because
is
not
why-
everyone holds one. Yeah.
Exactly. And we go so much back and forth where it's like, what's better to do this and that? And I think, we let a lot of people down because, people wanted to join and they probably went another route.
I understand.
Yeah. And instead of doing like another collection where it's like, let's spend 5 months. I mean, that's not what I intended, but let's do something that's never been done before. And it's the first, and 7.5K non-auto-generated.
Non-auto-generated, right. And so does that mean each piece, each 7,500 was worked on individually, or are there different colors to at least make it like he only did 2,500, but then he can at least randomize the colors or something? Does that?
Yes, they're going to be variants, and that's what we call them. There are going to be colors, but there's over 100 unique Ugly Bros.
Amazing.
And it's never been done before. Like, and this is why it's so cool,
right?
In terms of going to the art route, because this has never been done the way we're doing it. And like, you know, and there's a lot of art projects like, yeah, we're art, and that's fine, but you're only doing one base.
Right.
We're doing 100
or
bases.
a few, right? Yeah, even clay only has, you know, 4 bases, which is fine. You know, I'm not saying
100%.
anything bad, but yeah, they only have 4 bases, and just like you said, most projects. Okay, so now wait, I had a burning question. Okay, so with 100 different characters, that means there won't be any crazy rarities. Is that correct? Because then that means 75. Like each character will have 70. Will each character have 75, or are the different characters?
We're gonna have legendaries this time. We're gonna have legendaries, and can I make some announcement?
Absolutely.
I mean,
let's do it right here.
So it's funny because you know you're gonna be on season 2, and then for people asking, it's gonna be cool. You know why? Because you were the only person that asked to be in it.
Hell yeah, dude! I wanted to be a part of it. I love the Ugly Bros, and it looked like so much fun.
And I appreciate you. And like, you know, what I was gonna say was, after this, I'm gonna send you your 20 variations so you can check it out.
Oh, I'm excited. Thank you.
Yeah, like, because people say, hey, I want my custom, and it's just like, you know, we have pending customs, but you were the only person that, and I was just like, why not? So when people ask me why CJ wanted me, it's like, you didn't ask.
Oh, no way. That's funny. Yeah, I was even kind of nervous asking. Not nervous, but I was just like, you know, let me shoot my shot at least. I want to see if I can get in on season 2.
Yeah, and like a lot of people. So I think what made yours came out very different.
It did, dude. Well, it looks so much like me. I guess that means I'm ugly as fuck then, huh?
Yeah. Well, no, you're pretty boy. But like, the custom is a one of one. But what we did in this one, we removed the hat. So your at the time blue hair is gonna be popping out, totally. And your variants. But that's it's gonna be very interesting when people see, because it's like, oh, there's favoritism. It's not favoritism when he was the only one that asked, right?
Yeah.
And that's what's pretty cool about it, because I was just like, yeah, let's do it.
That's interesting. I didn't know that.
Experiment a lot with yours, which is pretty cool.
I'm excited to see the variations.
Gonna be nice, and you know what? And I mean, like, I think, you know, we're bringing something very, very different to the table. I'm very excited to showcase this.
Okay, question. Because, when you say those words, bringing something very different to the table, what's the first thing that comes to your mind of, like, what is it?
Innovation. I would have to say innovating, upping the standard to projects.
Yeah.
Because what I really think what's going to happen is, once we release this, you know, there will be, and like, you know me, my ego, you know, Michael Jordan competitiveness. I love Michael Jordan, by the way.
Honestly, but I don't think that you have much of any, or at least I don't. You know, when I hear the word ego, I pair it with arrogant. I don't think you're arrogant at all.
No, arrogance, no. But I'm very much competitive, and that was the way I was brought. And part of the allure of innovating is like, I want to bring the best out of me, my team.
Yeah.
And that what's going to be cool about this specific season, and it's never been done. And what's going to happen is that when people see this season, it's going to be holy shit, because again, it's 100 different bodies, noses.
Right. Everyone will, the people have so much to choose from, and they won't, at this point, I don't think they will be able to say that, oh, ugly bros aren't my thing. It's like, really? Well, have you looked at the girl one? Have you looked at the dude one? Have you looked at the samurai one? I don't know. I don't know what you're doing. But what I'm saying is, like yeah.
It is wild, and like it's something that I think for the 3D art world, it's going to be very different for NFTs. And I'm safe to say that this season will be like, we're going to be upping the standard, and it's going to be cool, because again, when 3D projects launch, I understand art is subjective, and you shouldn't compare with other projects. But you know, when people look at us and look at somebody else, they're going to be like, as a profile picture, you're going to be like, oh, but you only have one base, you only have two bases, you only have three bases, right?
Right. Do you think that there's a you know, there's a strange balance because, right, I'll just use Bored Apes for example. Like no one cares about the art anymore. People want a Bored Ape because there's the utility and people and the clout, right? But it doesn't matter how cool the art is or not. And I would say if a project gets to that point, it's probably a good thing. So what I'm trying to articulate here is have you seen, I don't think this is where I was going with it, but now it is where I'm going with it. Have you seen a super successful project where it's solely based on the art? I'm kind of tangenting here, but have you seen a super successful project where people just buy it for the collectible and because the art was so well done and so well put together?
I think, yeah, out of memory right now, I mean, we could say cuteness and simplicity doodle, right? We could say it's cute.
Yeah. I would say that too. However, they have like so much shit going on now, like with meetups and I know that they have so much stuff. I don't even know what it is. So I almost wonder if how much really people even care about the cuteness. I wonder if it's just kind of a plus.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's where we're headed, because if I was just like
right.
and you know, you and me talk so much because you have so much knowledge in this game, and it's something that when you give me, like when we talk and you tell me something, I do consider it, right? Because it's something that I started, you know, investing in NFTs in December, and I'm very new, and like, you know, if you're not aware as a creator, it becomes interesting because you don't know, like, art now is not enough, right? And that's
okay. I guess that's what I'm kind of getting at. Although I think that now in the game, it is so important to have nice art because you need to at least not reel people in like manipulatively, but you need to have credibility off the rip.
Yes.
Right? Because now if you have shitty art, like you're gonna get lost in the sauce.
Yeah.
It's like it's like almost like being a lazy musician. Like you can make great music and you can mix it at home, but if you don't do anything with it, it's never gonna hit the world.
100%. And you know, that's why, you know, and we've been working so like for the past since September, season 1, we did the X-Mix collection. People wanted it. The community collection was just to give back to those who didn't win, right? It's interesting because people are like, "Oh, what are you gonna do?" And I'm like, "This is because people requested it." And that's why if we go on pairing, season 1 is first of all, it's the only one that has animation. It's the first. Season 2, which took now 5 months to do it, it's a little bit more complex because of time. It took hours, and like I'm gonna have Daniel do a breakdown because it's going to, like, the standard of NFT will raise in terms of 3D when you talk about art, and I'm very excited about that. But what I was going to say was, I'm tired of working, and I want to go out there and push,
have fun,
and like, you know, I'm in the Twitter space
network, yeah.
That's important, but I want, like we talked about, going to multiple expos this year.
Yeah.
Getting the word out, going out there. Hosting galleries in certain museums that you know we've been speaking about, just to bring that attention, right? Because I don't think it's enough to be like, here's an NFT collection.
Yeah.
Here's the art.
Here's the Discord. Verifying the thing. Connect your wallet here and call it a day.
Yeah, still, it's not as good, but I think there's a moral obligation that I personally have to go out there and to let the known world how cool this shit is. How cool this art and how significant and why is it special? Because that's what you're alluding to. That's what you're asking. Like, what are you gonna do differently? It's just like people need to know the story. Bored Apes is cool, but to me it's auto generated, and like from an artist's point of view. From an artist's point of view, you feel me? Like you give it to an artist and they're gonna look at it and they're gonna be like, okay. But they don't know the history behind it.
Right. And also to be clear, I don't think you have to be completely different. I don't think like different is a fair word, but to get really semantical here, you know, like art is always inspired by something else, right?
100%.
Obviously there's going to be people that look like innovators because they are, but everything is always inspired from something. I don't know if different is the right word. You know, I don't think I would ask you what are you going to do different, Serge. I guess it's more like, I don't know, because that's the thing. It's like you never know what's gonna end up being successful. It's more like, you know, it's more like how much do you love what you're doing, Serge? And I know that the answer is, you know, 10 out of 10, 11 out of 10, 1,000,000%. And that's why I personally love Ugly Bros, and that's why I took advantage of people not understanding. Thus, I think selling their season ones for very cheap, and that's why I ended up owning, I don't know, roughly 11% of the entire season one collection. Because, let me circle back, as long as you're passionate about what you're doing and you follow that, that means you believe in it. And if you keep going, that means you're probably doing something right. Unless you're just insane, because the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different result. So as long as you're passionate and you keep going and it feels right and you just keep going and going and going, then I think you're on the right track, right? Who cares if you're doing land? Who cares if you're doing a token?
Yeah.
Who cares if you're doing this, that, whatever? If it feels right, then it is what it is, and every project has their own way of doing that. Like, I don't mind if you're not different. I don't mind if you are different.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I know where we're going, where we're headed, what we're gonna do. Like, and it's
you know, we talk about it
space.
You have a vision, right? Do you have a vision?
Yeah, the vision is there. The vision is going to It's you know, I believe in it going up. Like, Twitter only gets you so far. I am so sorry about this. If you don't have connections, like, I mean, I applaud Clay Nation for what they did. And I mean, you know, Spacebuds, there's history, but there's a reason why Clay's where it's at. And it wasn't because they stayed put.
Right.
They made connections. That connections transfer into newer connections, right? And that's what, you know, a lot of people are like, oh, so, you know, like, what happens? How are you going to hype it up? And I'm like, I'm not going to hype, like, I'm not going to manipulate anything or do anything. But I will go out there and do the groundwork and go expos and, you know, and there's more than expo, right? It's just like, that's why I think it's a marketing tour.
I think you're doing a unique process in terms and standards of today's world, and I think that's and like you said, okay, so wait, I have another question that I was going to ask earlier. What is the balance? You know, in the beginning you said you had thousands of Discord members, but you only had 1,000 NFTs to give them.
Yes.
So what balance do you think you totally heartbroke people to where they're never coming back?
You know, it was a lot. You know, a lot of people were resentful that they didn't be able to mint, and it's something that not a lot of people understand it. And, you know, anybody that was quote unquote guaranteed something and didn't get it that day, they just rage quit. And like, even though I reached out and apologized, they still, and like, you know, you could always buy on secondary, but, you know, a lot of people are emotional and they develop these sentiments, right? And you know, but that's why we did the community collection for those people. And that's why we don't even charge for royalties for those.
And what kind of feedback did you get from people who didn't get a season one, but got a community ugly? Were they satisfied?
Oh, they appreciate it. They appreciate it, and they're very thankful. But then you circle back that there's 50% of them that they look at the floor and they're just like resentful. And it happens so often that people come to the Discord and are like, I gotta tell you something, bro. And I'm just like, it's crazy. And it's just like, you're like, you know, what else could I do? Like, I get, you know, like, you know, so I mean, here's a great example of it. The day, like, and I bought all my uglies. I have now 11 ugly bros. I bought them all in secondary, and I bought them when the floor was 350 to 400, right? But the day it was selling, it was at 100 ADA, 150 ADA, right? So it's one of the things where it's just like, you could have gone there too as well, right?
Well, at that point, it's how much do you love the project, right? I mean, talking about a few hundred ADA. So
and it's like exactly how much you believe in the team, right? And that's what we call flippers and holders and paper hands and it.
Right. So it's at that point, it's how many fans were actually heartbroken, or was it just flippers that were heartbroken? You know, because a real fan would just be like, you know, all right, bummer, I didn't get to mint, but now I get to choose the one I like on secondary and buy it, you know? Positive thinking and just realistic thinking too. That's what I mean. Sometimes I don't even like to mint because I just want to see what happens on the secondary and then choose what I want.
Yeah, and it goes either way,
exactly.
Right? Like it's going to be interesting to see the floor on this one happen. I mean, so far, you know, we're going to give priority to holders. That's the first thing. And then, you know, to talk about numbers, our public raffle, because we're not going to do a reservation system. I'm sorry. It's what Clay Nation did. We're going to do because they're going to break the website again. And I don't want to deal with FUD because you know how it is.
Wait, so yeah, totally. So wait, so explain to me what you're doing with the mint. So
there is a portion of people that are going to be whitelisted that are guaranteed. So you're guaranteed for
season 1 holders, Xmas Ugly Bro holders, and then there's a ratio for the community holders.
Exactly. If you own 5 community ones, you get 1 whitelist.
Right.
If you had a roll back in October, you get a whitelist spot as well.
A Discord roll?
Sorry?
Discord roll?
Yes. And that's when, I mean, you know, if I could take it all back, I would have done a random mint and, you know, good luck whoever gets it, right? But I didn't know better back in the day. But to give you an overall idea, right now there's 11.5K on the Discord. The public raffle has been only open for a week, and we have 7,000 people applying for the raffle.
Wait, so there's a public raffle?
Yes.
Okay, explain that to me and to the people.
So basically, anybody that wants could get in. We have allocated roughly 2.5 to 1.5K NFTs. Again, you're not guaranteed anything, but it's going to be via a randomized lottery system.
Correct.
So once we get all the addresses, we're going to put them in a randomizer.
Correct.
And the app is going to select the users. And basically, those people will be able to mint one. So, and I mean, because we want to do something fair as well.
I think that's the best freaking way to do it, because then it's connected to the Discord. It's a lot easier than, you know, if someone has a node, then they can get 20 or 30 on a regular public mint. So I think it's a lot. One, it shows you that you have a real community that's entering in for this public raffle. And then 2, it just, I think there's a lot less headaches. There's a lot less, hey man, I didn't get my mint in Discord. You know, there's a lot less uncertainty when you do a reserved mint.
Yeah, so I mean, a great example is like, look at Clay. There's a reason why Clay did a public raffle via the website. It's because
dude, imagine Bake Nation not public. Holy crap.
Would have broke the website. And then what happens if you break the website? What are people gonna do? They're gonna, you know, they're gonna be bitter and they're gonna complain and
bitter,
you know,
mad. Oh, this person got 50. This person got
exactly, right. And they're making it fair, and shout out to them. But it's the reason why we're just like, let's do it, let's do a raffle and not have to deal with the repercussions, because the website is something and the blockchain is something. They're both connected. And on the blockchain end, we're locked, but on the end of the website, no. Like, we're talking about the Christmas collection had 30,000 transactions in 10 minutes. It just destroyed the website.
It had 30,000 transactions?
30,000 transactions in 10 minutes.
I don't think you'll have a problem selling out season 2.
No, selling out is not even an issue. The issue is more making sure everybody's happy. I think that's the main issue. Another example is the community collection was supposed to be all holders, but we had 600. And I'm like, let's open it up to the public. We got in 50 seconds 200,000 ADA. Like, you feel me? So it's just like, you let people down. It's like, oh, the block. And I'm like, I don't control blocks.
Yeah.
I can't.
Right.
Blocks, right? I was like, you do. But I mean, we're just happy we're doing it this way, so everybody is happy. And yeah, I mean, we live, we learn, we get better.
It's a
but
really
I'm very excited about
season 2.
Yeah, you know what it is like, and I'll tell you something. I'm very open, and you see me in space, and we have a lot of discussions about a lot of stuff because we care about the community.
Yeah.
No,
but, always. Yeah. Whenever I reach out and I give my 2 cents or feedback, I really enjoy how receptive you are. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, it should be that way. It should be that way. Like.
Well, yeah. You should. No matter what, you should listen to your community because your community is your freaking project. I'm saying this a lot, so the people in the back can hear it.
Yeah. So we're talking about that, how there's a lot of creators that that investors reach out and they don't hear peep.
Yeah.
And I think that's not okay, because you shouldn't ghost people. You should, if you can't attend to them, at least redirect them to somebody that will take care of them.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, like, for example, Zombie Chains, they minted their first 10K, things were going well. And then they announced Zombie Hunters, and they didn't really announce anything to go with it. So now you've got 20K items on the market, zombies and hunters, and everyone's like, dude, what's next? And so they finally at least gave out their idea for Q4 of this year, which is a zombie fight club. But like, that's it. Like, you have no idea what that means. You have no idea what's involved.
Yeah.
And so you can see the reflection in the in the floor prices. Like, these zombies are selling for like 70 ADA. I don't even know what the hunters are selling for, but everyone, a lot of people were in love with the zombie chains, and I think people still are. Excuse me. And I still hold a bunch. I'm kind of annoyed at what's going on, but long story short, like, they're not engaging with the community. They're not saying, oh yeah, we've got the devs working right now. We're working on this game. Here's a sneak peek. Even if it's some bullshit, like, here's at least a sneak peek. It's a game, or at least it's whatever. But they're very like, oh, we told you there's no roadmap from the start, and it's like, all right, they did, fair enough.
Yeah.
But I think when they got to like number 5 all time or 6 all time, something like that.
I remember.
I think when you get there, you get a moral responsibility to be like, all right, we let the holders know that we weren't taking this seriously, but now they're taking this very seriously. They either, in my opinion, have a responsibility to say, like, I don't know, either like literally be upfront, like Hosky, like, hey guys, like, please dump this because like we're not taking it seriously, or give some crumbs, be like, hey, all right guys, thanks so much for believing in us. We're we're working on a game, we're working on whatever it is. But and that's what I really appreciate about Ugly. Like we have no idea what's going on, but you dropped like metaverse stuff, you dropped on Twitter, and they're just sneak peeks. You're not telling us what you're doing, and honestly, it's not that I don't care, but I just trust you and I believe in you. So I go along the ride.
And I was gonna say that because, like, NFTs, yes, they are art, but like you were saying, once you hit that top caliber, I mean, if you're not gonna have a roadmap, again, art is art, that's fine, but just say it.
Yeah.
Just say it. I will never tell people to buy, just throw all the moon.
At least at least with 20K items on the market, then I feel it's like it's a problem. But if they just release their zombie chains and then let it be, then maybe I wouldn't really think twice. But when they dropped the second set of hunters, and they didn't even do 1-for-1 against the zombie chains, they did 2-for-1, meaning if you had 2 zombie chains, then you got 1 hunter.
And I know the artist Brian, like, he comes from an art background, which again, that's fine. But like, in the NFT world, we're art, but I personally have so much plans. Like, I think I told you, we're gonna do animation shorts with the Ugly Bros.
Animation
and it's gonna be
shorts?
free.
That's awesome.
Yeah, 10-15 seconds. But it's gonna bring it to that next level, and those shorts are not for selling, but are to bring people and to be like, this is how cool it is. This is what could potentially happen, right? All these expos are for that. there's merch in the table now that, again, there's a potential token that I'm figuring out logistics and to figure out how we could, you know, reward the holders and, you know, while being careful. Like,
right.
That's where we're at, right? And the reason why, and if you, like, everybody can see what you make on the blockchain on the day of. We're talking about life-changing money. So, you know, you need, like, I think, you know, project creators, not that, I treat it as a business, right? And I want you to be okay.
It's a baby. It's a business. It's both. Same thing. Same word.
It's a bit. It's no NFTs. Yes. Let's not allude. I mean, you know, what is a security at this point? Did you know a security is considered when you post a link to your website and say buy here? Royalties are securities. So, you know, from that standpoint, if you're going to collect royalties, if you're going to do all these things, like, step it up and
define securities for me and the viewers.
Securities basically, it's so an interesting word.
Yeah, and they make it that way on purpose.
Yeah, they make it that way because, I mean, there's a reason why Bored Yacht had to go through all the time to get a coin out, had to hire lawyers to make sure they weren't, you know, breaking rules, right, and getting regulated. A lot of projects out there do a lot of things where they have a lot of things, but sometimes it's like, like, if you get to the point of Bored Yacht Ape, is all this gonna be like, am I gonna get in trouble? Do I have to X, Y, and Z? I think from that perspective.
Yeah. Well,
right?
at the end of the day, everything's negotiable, right? So it's all good.
Everything is negotiable. But doing preparation, speaking with a lawyer to see if something's possible. It's what's the value you give to tokens, which is a big thing, right? But I mean, yeah, nothing is financial advice, but I am treating this as a business. And like, something about me, and you probably know about this, like, I basically came from nothing to having a fitness studio with 40 trainers, $1 million a year of revenue. And why am I saying this? Because this is how I'm treating Ugly Bros. Like, this is not and that's the other thing too, because I've become an investor in NFTs and learning via what you told me, what multiple people have told me. Another collection for the collection, even though it's art, it would be considered a cash grab in a way.
Right.
You feel?
Right.
Like,
right.
Like, it's what you do with
right. And it is what it is. Like, you can call it what you want, but it is what it is. And right. Like, yeah.
Well, investors know. Like, if what's, like, I want a house. Would a 10K collection be pretty, you know, good for me? Hell yeah, give me a house in a Porsche. But what does that do in the back end, right? To the holders, because that's something that is not only you, it's something that anybody.
And it's empty. It's empty too. And then, you know, once you get the house and the Porsche, it's like, what's my life even? So
yeah, well, exactly. So I mean, the question is basically like, you build community. What are you going to do for them? And I mean, here's another great example, Gizmo.
I love the Gizmos. I can't wait. It's next Wednesday.
April 20th. April 20th. So, and you know, I always try to connect with Gizmo. We always go and have a drink. But a great example of this is Gizmo talking about how he's going to make right by the community.
Right.
And then, you know, that's a fire that is just like, I get it. Because he's not talking about making money. He's talking about, I'm going to do this for the whole.
Yeah, he doesn't care. He doesn't care about a Porsche. Yeah.
Exactly. He cares about his people, and he's developed relationships. And I think that's the same thing we've done. Is just, we care about the people. How are we going to, because after this, what happens next? Yeah. Right? Growing within the CNFT community? No, you got to go out there. I think, like you said, there is a responsibility to go out there and shine.
Well, hey man, yeah. How did I know Ugly Bro season 1 with just 1,000 NFTs there was a time. What was the peak? I mean, I know it got to like top 20 at one point, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was only us and Barry, which is which is crazy, and it is cool. But only us and Barry, and only 3 projects that have less than 1,000 are in the top 100 now.
Man, it's getting juicy.
It's good though. It's good because it's passionate.
Oh,
and
juicy is always good.
Yui's always good. Is this being recorded? Is it being recorded?
Yeah.
No, right?
Well, I mean, it is. Yeah.
No, right now, no, you're off record.
Well, but I mean, it's still being recorded.
Yeah.
So if
Yeah, but okay.
Yeah, but whatever.
Guys, I got spicier than usual. And like we always talk about spiciness in Twitter Spaces, and that's the thing about it. So it's cool to have a heart to heart, man. Because listen, if you're collecting money, and I get it, it's art. What's a return? By the way, did you get your baked plots?
I did. I only got 2 baked plots. Their algorithm messed up, dude. It made 0 sense. You know, at first they were saying like oh, fairness, oh, it's all equal, and I was on board with that for a second. I was like, all right, whatever, I got 2. But then when I realized that Drams got 1 and Faha got 0 Bake Nation, and there was people with 20 those people with like 10 clays, bro, that got 4 Bake Nations, 7. And so once I did the math, I just did the math, and I was like, literally, the odds of this happening approaches 0. It's like 1 in trillions that me and Drams get 1 and 2, and other people get 4. The median, the rough amount that I should have gotten was 30, just based off math. If you ran the algo 100 times, I would have gotten at least 30 the majority of the time. So they messed up, and you know, they're kind of playing it off like oh, it's just the way we wrote the script. The script's kind of fucked up, and they're not disregarding. They did say they're like, it's fucking, we really didn't mean for that to happen. We didn't mean for the big holders. But I wrote them something, and I was like, hey man, you know, like, you know, what's the difference between 10 million and 15 million? Like, but I will say that I'm owed relatively 30 Bake Nations, and let's say the floor is 1,000 or roughly 1,000. That's 30,000 ADA that I deserve.
Yeah.
And
I saw when you posted, and I saw with Drams, and I know, because we know who the players are. I was just like, I get it, it's fair, but
I know we tweeted that to support Clay, and at the same time, like whatever, you know, that perspective is fine too. Hey, it's all fairness. We're bringing more little guys in, you know, quote unquote. I don't mean to sound demeaning.
Yeah. And going back to Gizmo very quickly.
Yeah, go for it. Let's hop right back in.
Yeah, very passionate guy, and you know, we have our meetups, and that's what you want. You want people going out, like you want somebody hungry at the end of the day. You want somebody that's going to go after you.
That's it, bro. That's why I bet on you.
That's what it is. And I know, and I'm very grateful. And like, you know, people ask me, it's like, what does CJ think about? And I'm like, go ask him.
About Ugly Bros? They asked you what CJ thinks about Ugly Bros?
Well, like sometimes, like, but it's just like, go ask him.
Yeah.
But as well, what am I doing? Am I sitting down, you know, with a steak and a wine and the beach, and I'm not. Like, it's working, because that's how I'm doing.
Steak, wine, beach. Yeah, right.
Steak.
Yeah, right.
And it's fun to have these thoughts, but it's like, my intention, and you know, there's so much in the pipeline. There's potions, and there's a cross chain, which is going to be very different, right?
Well, you know what just came to my mind was that this season 2 is kind of like, honestly, the birth of Ugly Bros. Because season 1, as described in the name from the very get-go, was the intro, right? So this season 2 is really kind of the birth of the beginning of the vision that you guys have always had.
And that's the truth. And it's we were talking about, because season 1 was rushed. It was to me, it was really perfect.
Well, I mean, wait, why do you say rushed?
Because supply and demand. We opened up the Twitter on September 15th, and by October 1st, we had 4,000 on the Twitter, demanding for the Discord. And when we opened up the Discord, we had no intention of dropping a collection yet. Like we didn't even know what we were going to do. We had the prototypes. And that's why I think I told you, like, the original Carter, like, we're allocating the prototype to certain people. You're going to get the I think yours is the original route, right?
Oh, no way.
Yeah, you're gonna get the original route. I just need to create a policy for those prototypes. So it's kind of, yeah.
Sweet.
And it goes to fundamentals. Like season 1 will always be like, to me, will always be the mid pass, the because there's a lot that's gonna happen for season 1. But was it rushed, and did we have to like? Yeah, we did. With this one, it was like, let's take our time. Let's build. Season 1 had animations. S2 won't have animations.
I thought there's 50, or that's just music.
50 music tracks.
50 music, but 0 animations in season 2.
We're trying, and like, it's like once we're done, then I'm gonna do a complete videos of all the music, all the tracks, all the characters. Yeah, because it's gonna be, it's gonna be pretty cool. And like, why am I going back to this? I mean, I got to learn in season 1 until December and till now. And would I do another collection? One more. We're probably gonna do one more big collection, but not now. We're talking about 2023, and we'll see, right?
Right.
And I think we talked about this. We're gonna do cross chain, and
cross chain. What does that mean for the viewers?
So basically, we're gonna go to ETH, and I'm very excited that 2.0 is going to happen in June or July. It's 95% confirmed.
Really?
Yeah, 95% confirmed.
Wow.
And more eyes. ETH has a bigger audience.
What's amazing about Ethereum 2.0 coming out is it's amazing for the crypto space as a whole. Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
And people want to say, oh, Team Cardano, Team Blockchain, man.
Yeah.
Team on.
Well, yeah. What's amazing about that is Ethereum's broken right now. The way that people are transacting and losing money and failing transactions is literally, like, in my opinion, it's freaking broken. And in just a year or two, let alone 5 to 10 years, people are gonna look back and literally be like, why the fuck were we doing that? Why were we spending $300 on a mint? And I'm not saying mint price. I'm saying gas for the mint. What kind of broken bullshit is that?
And there's a reason why now you have Solana on OpenSea, but there's Polygon. But why doesn't Polygon get love as ETH does? There's a reason why, right? So that's why, it's gonna be cool to do a cross chain there, but different. Different.
Yeah.
And we're gonna announce something for this week for season 1 holders that they're gonna like, because it has to do with that cross chain compatibility.
Oh, amazing.
It's gonna be pretty cool, and it's gonna cost us money, but again, you gotta take care of your community. You gotta take care of your holders, right? Like, that's one thing. Understanding with many people, like, you're getting season 2. Okay, what's gonna happen at season 1? Like, how do you? Because you invested in it, and I'm here for the art, but I also understand the person that invested 400 or 500 ADA, 1,000 ADA, right? How are you gonna keep that? Yeah, it has to have a special meaning. Like, and it's funny because, like, I'm crossing the chain of investor and security, but do I not have, like, I feel like I have a moral obligation to do it, to give back. So why not, right?
Amen.
First, hey, 10K, another 10K collection, you go, what about me? I don't know, we'll figure it out. You're gonna be like, Sergio, but what happened to the drive? What happened to the vision?
Okay, so now I have a entertaining, fun question. Let's break down what the benefits are of holding a season 1, and share whatever you're comfortable with. Don't share anything you don't want to share. But yeah, let's inspire and show why someone would want to be a part of the Ugly Bro journey, and especially holding one of 1,000 season 1s.
Yes. So first of all, it's the Genesis, right?
Genesis, baby.
Because when you look back at it, who brought us to the party?
Yeah.
Right? It's always going to hold value, like to me, and there's a reason why I'm buying it. and it's yeah. I mean, like, put your money where your mouth is, right?
Yeah.
Like, and I don't believe in minting, because there's a lot of projects out there that mint.
Take their own mint.
Yeah, they self-mint themselves without paying secondary, but just give themselves that amount.
Yeah.
I believe give it to the public, and then you buy.
Yeah.
Because that's how I'm able to empathize with you.
Well, and they're already
like,
they're already paying you anyways, right? So let them pay you, and then let them.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm paying 500. I'm paying 500 data, and when you be specific, so there's the genesis. The other thing is, because we come from an art background, and that because of Daniel's potential, it's not now, because now it's ugly. Now everything is ugly. When we go cross change with another collection, and again, it's not now because we have a lot of work to do. Season 1 will always be whitelisted, and I'm not talking about another profile pictures, because after season 2 we're done with profile pictures. We're done. We're done. It's
I mean, I honestly I agree with that, because it's like, once you already have 85 PFPs, what's the point of more?
Yeah. You have 100 different uglies.
Yeah, you've got your characters. Yeah, you're good.
What do? You're gonna build more characters?
Yeah.
Why? Is it not enough?
Yeah.
So to me, it's like, now we have the universe, so we can bring in animated shorts and expose them to the world. Right.
In the same parallel, how Clay did it, right? They have their characters, the Clay Nation. Now they're doing stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that's what's going to be important. Anywhere we go, but again, it's not now. Like, I speak about this, it's not going to be in a month, it's not going to be in a year. You will be whitelisted to bigger things, and it's something that we want to work with the community eventually to be in, like, okay, guys, season 2 is running the way it is. We have our metaverse department working. We have the animation shorts. Now we have time. What would you like us to create in something like Polygon, ETH, Solana, right? And then people could reap the rewards of those whitelists, or just collect it as an artist. But we want to offer that, right? We want to be able to give. And it's like, when? It's like, right now, it's indefinite, but that's how we're going to take care of our people. Oh, what about season 2? There's going to be things for season 2, but season 1 right now is the mint pass.
Right. It sounds like it's the key to every single solitary door moving forward. Ugly.
Yeah. And, well, not even ugly related, but Daniel and me related, because there's going to come a time where, like, that's why we're only going to do 3 official seasons. And the third one, don't put me on this, but it might even be free, because I don't want to keep bombarding. Great for money for a Porsche,
right?
But like,
right. Regardless if it's free or not, the point that you're trying to make is that you're just trying to build at this point, and it's not about right.
Exactly. The potion system is going to be very interesting, because again, it's never been done. It's something like, and I want to have content to show you, to explain what I'm going to do with the potion system, but it's going to be different as well. It's going to be cross-chain. And why? It's going to have a specific reason, but it's not going to be like a 10,000 NFT collection. You see that? Yeah. I mean, I know I'm rambling about, but that's what it is. The ugly tokens, when I figure it out, because Ugly Rose is from the Dominican Republic. So in Canada, like, so a company in Canada or America can have tokens and target American citizens or Canadian citizens. However, as a Dominican business, very different. Yeah, very interesting, right? Because everybody's like, yeah, I get the token, and then if you want to add a certain value in the future, we're going to be able to do it. And that's something that after this marketing tour, figuring out the white paper, how to mix the token up with free merch for people that have tokens, customs, and then maybe even have a liquidity pool, maybe.
Yeah, sure.
So it's all that, and how and why, to give back, to reward.
All right, and I wanna, because this is something that I just recently thought I understood. I'm not even sure if I still do, but for the people, when you say, and maybe a liquidity pool, you are referring to being able to trade it on Sunday Swap and whatever and blah blah blah, because when you have a liquidity pool, that allows people to trade 24/7, right?
100%. So have that option available there. Have it available. And like, yeah. And like, again, I still need to figure out exactly, because anything we do, I'm going to be very transparent, because I don't want to cross in a line where we get in trouble and we got to go back on it. So when we're certain exactly, it's going to be there. But for right now, you want a custom, the ugly tokens are there for that. You want merch, we're working on a merch brand, right? But then we want to reward the people, because here's what I see. I see you have your ugly bros, same as other people have 20, 10. Because you joined us in this journey, I want to reward you in the future. I don't want to do a thing where, and this is why, like, it crosses security if you're in America versus Dominican Republic. But because you joined me in this journey, I eventually want to, give back to the people that believe.
Amen, brother.
And that's what's going to make it special. That's what's going to make it special, right? I mean, words now, but we'll see how we act, right? We'll really see.
I have a question. Where did the name Ugly Bros come from? Because off the bat, I remember when I first saw Ugly Bros, I was like, these guys are dope, but this name is tough, right? Yeah. I was thinking to myself, like, man, like, it's so self-deprecating off the bat. But I will say that it, first of all, it's catchy at this point. And second of all, it's you've kind of, in my opinion, anyone who has an ugly bro may share the same, I don't know, opinion, for lack of a better term, but you kind of rebranded the word ugly. It's like, whenever I say ugly, immediately I think ugly bro, and then immediately I think my dope ass NFT. So it's kind of like making like when someone says like, damn, that was disgusting, right? Like a 3-point shot the Steph Curry made, like, that was disgusting, right? It's kind of like that same thing. That was my tangent, but yeah, so tell me.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty cool, because people are like, we get to a phase that there was no women in the NFT, and it's like, this is a bro project. The reason behind the Ugly Bros, me and Daniel, we consider ourselves ugly and bros. So it's like, that's our artist name. Ugly Bro is the artist name.
Got it.
Right? That's why the ugly, yeah. And like season 1 has Ugly Bro number X1, X2, but we consider the uglies genderless.
Yeah. Well, like, right. And to be fair, I mean, the word brother is such a like arming kind of embracing word. I mean, in Spanish, when there's boys and girls, what do you say? It's hermanos.
Hermano. But it's funny, because we came out, it's like, is this a bro project? Is this like, no, it's just me and Daniel. Like, we're the bro.
Right. You guys are the ugly bros.
Yeah, we're the ugly bros, and the ugly collection. That's what it is. And it's just like, but they're bros. They're not bros. They're genderless. Because we want to make everybody feel comfortable, right? We don't want to discriminate. We don't want to, just allude to one direction. That's why season 2,
take it how you want it.
Let's add they. Well, all of them are they in that, right? But let's add a variety of different things. And art is supposed to get an emotion out of you, and this season will do that with a lot of. I'm very excited, because a lot of people will identify as as a lot of these uglies.
People will identify with themselves with a bunch. Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah, like we did something, like, you'll see, you'll like it. You haven't even seen the 100, because that's why I'm waiting to get a full recap of every single one with them. Because there's going to be levels in this, and I know I'm not pumping my back, but there's a reason why it took us 5 months.
Right.
It could have and then to, like, I've been asked, because like we were going back and forth. You were like, Sergio, why 7.5?
Right.
Why? We were going back and forth with this, and it's just like, if I was gonna do 10 uglies and do a 7.5, I think I'm incorrect.
Right.
I'm wrong. But what's special? It's 100 unique ones, and it's never, again, going back into it, it's never been done, and it's something special, and it's something that yes, communities drive pricing, but when you talk about standards, it's going to raise the standard. I think after this, it's going to be different. I really think so.
Totally.
That base design or 2 or 4 for 10,000, it's going to go away, and you'll see. Like I have a really cool hunch because community builds pricing and
yeah. You know what's really interesting about Cardano NFT pricing is that it's rare anything ever goes up steady or anything, you know, just takes an absolute moonshot. What happens is that, you know, a big announcement will be made or something big will have been dropped and the NFTs will double or the NFTs will just take a nice shot up. And then again, you know, for months they won't do anything because the market is uncertain, right? I mean, like, you know, when I say the market is uncertain, I mean it's so early in Cardano NFTs and liquidity is relatively low, at least now, that, you know, same with Ugly Bros. Like they had season 1, they had the hype, and now since you guys have been working, it took down, or went from like 1,000 floor to from the top to like 500. Now it's just waiting, right? And so that's how the psychology behind all the communities go, right? So my point of this is that it's always about longevity, and if you're actually here to stay, then the price doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, once the real, you call it utility or the real hype or whatever the word is, once that actually comes, then you get the price expansion, which, you know, makes people happy, and it's always going to.
Yeah, and the thing, I've had people close to me tell me, what are you doing to push the uglies? And it's explaining like, bro,
that's an outside-in question.
We're working right now.
Yeah.
What do you want me to?
Right.
What do you want me to go like?
Sweep the floor. Go sweep the floor, Serge.
Sweep the floor, Serge. Or like, I think you could give a little bit more promotion to this. And I'm like, bro, if I do that, then I'm delaying. This is the reason why I want to finish, and then we get on track. Then we start to reach out there, and that's
right, because you have something to actually go with, as opposed to just 1,000 season 1s. All right, now I have another question that I think everyone is very aware of. You are so active in the community, Twitter Spaces, responding to people. I mean, you make everyone feel like family. I'm assuming that takes a lot of your time. I'm gonna ask very bluntly, why do you do that?
Because I care. Yeah. I care. There's a reason why I help projects behind the scenes, because I care. I care about this ecosystem, and like I want to build in Cardano eventually. But but I understand that in order to grow Cardano, you need to go out there and show people your art, and go to ETH and flex. Again, the potion system that we're gonna have, and it's gonna be like, holy shit, what is that?
I'm excited. Then, do you want to talk about that?
Yeah. Not yet. I want to have something sustainable. Because once Daniel is done, we're gonna get right into the potion system, and we're gonna get into the animation shorts, and the animation shorts are not NFTs. Maybe we'll airdrop them to the holder so they can have them as a memory, but it's to show the potential of what ugly can be.
We'll have to do a segment after season 2 is dropped, and all these things are in motion, just to explain to everyone in clear-cut detail.
Yeah, and you know, in Cardano, the way it works, if you have a tech, you have an edge. If you have a metaverse, you have an edge. This is all utility based.
Yeah.
Right. So if you're doing art for the sake of art, you know, you know, you might get a little love, or the rare one, or the hype for all this stuff. But in Cardano, you know, very quickly you did a Space Plus video, which was excellent. Again, people that are going to watch this video, go check it out. But why is Space Bud so, and I was telling this in a space, why is this so valued?
Yeah.
Alessandro Nami, the first smart contract in the Cardano space, the first multi-sig DAO wallet.
And at the end of the day, with all this comes a community that won't let go of Space Buds. There are so many people on top of that are not in Space Buds that want to be in Space Buds.
Yeah. 100%.
thus the prices and they sustain, and they are, I was kind of, Clay's been taken off, right? But it's rare you really see a 10K sale for Clay. But for Space Buds, you probably see one every other day, at least 10K. And then once a week, probably 20K. And then probably, I would say a couple times a month, 30 to 40K. But you don't see that. And even with Clay, that I would argue has probably some of the clearest vision or utility on Cardano, you still don't see those sales. So that's why Space Buds, regardless of what anyone thinks, will always hold that stature, and maybe in time things will eclipse it. But
yeah, and you knew this, right? Jeff also educated me on that, and a lot of people do, right? Because when you come as a creator and you don't understand what's going on, you don't get it. But once you understand, Clay will always hold the value. Why? Because of the partnerships they've done, right? And then you have Wiseberry Valley, because it was the first one, first did.
And there's no way to break that statement or to argue that.
Yeah, there's no way, shape, or form, right? And that's why the value is there. And it's just like, in Cardano, what utility are you bringing to the table? Again, art is fine, right? But how are you benefiting? Multiverse is coming. The multiverse, metaverse. Oh my God. But, yeah, Doctor Strange, I'm very excited.
Oh yeah, me too, bro. That's immediately what I thought.
I'm very pumped about it. But what I'm trying to say is, you can come in as an artist and it's fine, but in Cardano, you have to leave a lasting legacy in a way.
You do, because that's what Cardano is about. And you could go on ETH, Clay could have gone on ETH, and you guys would have been multimillionaires. And that's not the point here. It's really not the point here. No, and their Clayverse, which is interesting that we're talking about. It's just impressive, and it's just like every time I see Lena on a space, like, instead of when it's thank you, right? Thank you for choosing Cardano. Thank you for the innovation, the partnerships, right? It's being thankful, and it's a lot of people who don't get it, and a lot of people do. Yeah. Really good way of putting that. Hell yeah. That's why when you're in a space, I'm like, I see CJ at the back. Because you always have to be, you gotta know. We appreciate everybody, but we all know who the players are. We all know. Like, I think everybody that's a creator in their space, when they know who holds. And how do you know? Isn't there a wallet count on the Discord? Aren't people vocal? They are, right? So why not show some love? Yeah. Not to you, but hey, what's going? It's and that's the reason why. And it's inspiring too. It makes other people want to do that. Yeah, but it's also ghosting in this space. I don't think it's healthy. Like, if you made it, and somebody wants to reach out to give you an opinion. There was this NFT. I mean, they're still around, called Chibidangos. They had a little hype cycle in back when there was that cnft bull run, and I would always try and at least talk to the owners. I had some questions or whatever, and they would never respond back. And now, when they make an announcement, there's like, 7 fire reactions at most. And, and they're doing like, they did another 10K drop, just like the zombies did. But with this one, it was even worse. If you had one Chipadango in your wallet, you could get as many Season 2s as you wanted. And the mint price was 3.5 times more than Season 1. Yeah. And to me, that was just red flag, red flag, red flag, red flag. And some people are, Drams is really heavy in it, and he's like, I don't care, I'll just see where it goes. And I think I still have like 100 of Season 1s as well, so it's just like whatever. Because the mint price was 15 ADA back in the day. So I bought 100 and I was like, all right. But they're saying they have a P2E. But again, I'm just like you said, ghosting, or just kind of not being communicative. It leaves way too much. I think creators don't understand, when you're not communicative, it leaves way too much room for uncertainty, and it leaves the community. It leaves interpretation up to them, and you don't want that.
No, no, you don't want that. And it's something as simple as saying, "Hey, I'll get back to you," or "So I'm sorry, I'm
Even
busy."
that, yeah, even that helps.
We were talking about that last night, and
Oh, yeah.
and you know what I'm noticing now is that we are getting the holders we're getting. They actually care about the project. Like it's cool. Like you're gonna get people that have a fear of what if it goes down, and they're always kind of pricey. But I'm noticing throughout the interactions from Twitter Spaces and like Discord is fine, right? But when you start to go out there and you start to preach, people start to see you. People buy because they believe in you. They believe it. They're hearing your voice, and that's why I'm so excited to go on tour and
tell us about that. What are your upcoming events?
Yes. So I'm still waiting to hear, because we want to do a live gallery in Toronto, and I'm still waiting for Daniel to tell me if we're going to complete. We should be completed, but I want to get the final date. I want to do like a live gallery in Toronto where people can, like, I have a couple of friends in the media that wink wink are going to help kind of like do an announcement.
Sweet.
So yeah, do a live kind of gallery in Toronto. But then after that, we have an expo with 50K people in Toronto, the 20th to the 23rd.
Wow.
We're going to be next to crypto.com.
Wow.
Which is amazing.
That's
which is good, right? It gets us it's just exposure. CNFT Con, which is the standard, but that was more for
that's for fun.
That's for fun.
That's for fun.
If you're going there to get sales, I don't think that's a good idea. That's not a good idea. You're going there for the community.
Yeah.
And then we have one in Florida, which is So we're doing a couple. And then the social media targeting is going to be pretty cool, because it's going to show the animations, and then throughout the animations, we're going to get them, visit, know what uglies are. So I'm excited for all that, and start to reach out to bigger projects, not for collaborations, but hey, how you doing? This is ugly. You know about us, but I think that's going to make it,
ugly
rubbing
speaking.
elbow, right? Yeah, so I'm excited. I'm very excited, and thank you so much, for having me today. And I always appreciate what you do for the community. Like, more people are understanding, right? And it's interesting. I mean, like, yeah, from our perspective, great, but from an investor perspective, like, fuck, Clay did right. And why did they do right? Because they've been hustling.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then thank you for saying that, by the way. I love working with you. Every time we talk, I enjoy it.
And I did get pissed when Charles said, me and Snoop Dogg.
Oh, yeah. Immediately I responded, and Clay.
Yeah, I saw that. And I'm just like, Charles, like, we all like love Charles, but it's just like, you live in a bubble, man. And I honestly thought, let me tell you something, I honestly thought that Charles was the one that, like, Charles's team connected with Clay and made this happen, but it wasn't that way. It was Clay. And then I was just like, give the credit, bro.
Yeah, no, they hooked it up.
Credit. Yeah, pump them up. Like, I don't know, man. It's just, that's my 2 cents on that. I was just like, okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Great thing. Yeah.
At the end of the day, he retweeted Clay Nation actually back in September.
Good, but this is big.
Yeah.
This is gonna bring a lot of eyes, and like, I mean, like, for what it's worth, it's exposure, and it's a flex. You feel me? And then that way, you see everything. You see the floor pricing going up. You see all these stuff, and then you understand why.
Yeah.
And it was a pretty good moment.
It was pretty epic, man.
Yeah, no, I know.
It was pretty epic.
Because an investor, you want to see your guy, your girl, pay them. You want to see them. You want to see success, right? And you could say we're art, but you do like that type of innovation when it happens. So it's the reason why, again, is there more
subjective, but
duty?
Again, if you're going to be on top there, and be as transparent as possible.
Right. I couldn't agree more with you. But at the same time, I gotta believe that he has so much on his mind,
Charlie. Yeah, 100. Oh, that he does. But it's, man. Like, imagine I get Ric Flair, and I kid around with this. It's like, if Clay got Snoop, I'm gonna get Ric Flair. And it's like me and Ric Flair
on the uglies.
Yeah, me and Ric Flair are gonna kick it. I would be like, what the hell, Charles? Like, I just jokes, but like, yeah, he's busy and it's fine. But again, as a creator, you gotta give it to the team that brought it home. That's my 2 cents on that.
Couldn't agree more.
But yeah.
Do you want to wrap this up with talking about what's next in the coming months for Ugly?
Let's do this. Let's do season 2, the first non.
We gotta cut now. All right, we're cutting.
Okay.
I mean, you can talk, so we can swap that.
Okay, yeah. So
Yeah.
keep about stuff.
I mean, yeah, if you guys want to keep talking, I can just cut that. You know?
Okay, cool. All right. So let's talk about what's coming season 2 and then thereafter, or whatever you're comfortable talking about.
Yeah. Well, the main focus right now is the first non-auto-generated NFT collection in all blockchains to have 7.5K original. Again, this is not something that you put on a software, hit click, and it auto-generates. This took time. This took 5 months. Is coming out in May 3rd. Holders get a discount of 60 ADA per NFT. And there's some news that is going to happen with that season 1 holder. So it's also on the Discord. The public raffles and rolls are May 4th, and it's 70 ADA. And
they start on May 4th, or they end on May 4th?
No. So people will. Thank you for clarifying that. People will be able to whitelist to the public raffle or buy an Ugly Bro and apply for seasons 2 up until April 26th. 6 p.m. because we want to make sure that we have enough time to prepare. But again, it's something different that's coming to the blockchain, and very, very excited. And that's what's going to happen. And then basically after that, we're going to focus on promotion and heavily.
And what does that look like? Can you give us a little crumb of like promotion?
Tour, expos, reaching out to websites about Ugly Bros, creating video shorts to get that eye, right? Because as we said, after this, there's no more profile pictures, right? Yeah. It's just innovations with animation. And I think that's what's going to be cool. It's putting an emotion to an ugly and making proof. I think that's what's going to be key to this.
You dropped roughly a month ago a cool animation of a what looked like a Porsche going through a thing. What is that?
So we're going to be heavily involved in metaverse stuff for holders. So as a season 1 holder, what's going to end up happening is we're going to create free metaverse builds for you to put on your land for free.
Oh shit. And is land going to be a separate NFT on its own? Or?
And it's going to be free for the holders. Like because we realized if we're going to go into a metaverse, because we have the 3D edge, I want to be able to be CJ. You have a Pavia land. Great example. You have a land.
I don't, but yes, okay. Understood.
Yeah,
it's an example.
Yeah, but any metaverse in Cardano, which again, it's going to take years, but I would rather have it implemented now because the metaverse are following the same guidelines in Sandbox. It's the same guideline. So that's what's going to happen in all these major ones. So if it ever came to it, I would want my holders to not have to worry about buying a house, and I could just give it for you for free.
Yeah.
Right. We are gonna. I reach out to the team via Discord, and they're doing testing and all this stuff, but we're working with an architect to provide that as well.
Like a 3D architect.
Yeah, like a 3D architect.
I have to say, Serge, something that's like on the tip of my brain, so I'm assuming it's probably in the back of a lot of people listening too, is that it sounds like the majority and the only ADA that the Ugly Bros business will be taking in is from season 2, which would be 60 times 7,500. It's like roughly 400,000 ADA, right? 7 times 6, 42.
70, probably a little bit more because of 7.
Honestly, and then all this stuff coming along too, like, you know, to me that represents dedication. Like today, nowadays, like 400,000 ADA on a real NFT project is like that's just fuel. Like that's not even, that's like you're not even like, you know, breaking the bank or going crazy there. And I just think that's really cool that you're talking about all this stuff coming for free to holders as well. It's inspiring too.
Maybe 2 ADA for the transaction so we don't get burned.
Right.
But at the end of the day, like Drip Drops is coming, so I think we'll be able to kind of grab a policy idea and have it ready. But why? Because it's as we said, we want to grow with the community. We want to provide.
Exactly.
Yeah, and like if I could help you, and like we're gonna do very cool stuff, and I'm looking forward to all that when we cross it. But what am I doing? I'm preparing now, and we don't want to do what Clay did and create our own thing. It's just a lot of money and a lot of headache, but we would rather build. And to be honest, I'm pretty good with money. I'm pretty good with cash flow and understanding
budget. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. There's a reason why we have 3D designers, and I didn't need to. I don't know. Like I'm pretty good with money. I just say that.
Yeah, that's awesome to hear, Serge, and it's very inspiring too. And it also shows that, you know, if an NFT project ever claims that they have a crazy high mint price or whatever, just to justify doing something, it shows that that's not real. Because if Ugly Bros can do it, so can you.
Yeah, and I think 60-70 is fair. Even with like, you look at our Cardano went a little bit down today. It's still feasible. Like it's still.
Honestly, with NFTs, I don't even check the price. Yeah. The only reason I know the price of ADA is because people either complain or cheer on Twitter.
And I got one of my friends just.
Yeah.
You know?
Hey, why is ADA going down, bro? That text, I've seen that text probably hundreds of times in my life.
It's just like, you know, this is a game that if you need money, you're in the wrong place. I'm sorry. This is want. This is I want to become rich, not I need to become rich.
It's intense, man. If you live off of that, if you think to yourself, I need money, therefore I'm gonna go all in crypto or whatever, dude, you're gonna grow gray hairs. Not only are you gonna do that, you're likely gonna lose all your money because you're acting on emotion and market psychology, and big players feed off that, right? I sold a dozen good Charlottes the other day at over 1,000 ADA each, and they were all floor, and I personally disliked all of them because I minted a bunch, right? So I had some that I didn't like too, and now floor 600. I just benefited off of, you know, that little hype cycle. Also, you know, it wasn't too much hype because when you bought one, you got to land too, right? But, you know, it's still, my point is, when you do the opposite, you usually win. When you sell the hype, when you buy the fear, you usually win. This is just off topic, but
but it's just good to know. And I mean, like, I'm very looking forward to basically innovating and just, see where we're going and building a bigger community that we're gonna, you know, it is very different when you got a bigger community, that's for sure.
Hell yeah, Serge. Well, I gotta pee really badly, and dude, much love. I love talking with you. It's so easy, it's so fun, and I'm looking forward to season 2, man. You know, I'll be getting my 140. I don't know.
Thank you for believing us, right? And it's something like, I think I told you on day, you regardless of floor pricing going up, going down, you back the right horse, because I don't give up. I don't.
Hell yeah.
You feel like it's like, this is right now to me. I'm not even started to show my potential and Daniel's potential. This is why a lot.
Cool. I don't. What's cool about you saying that is, like, I don't even know what that means, but I'm excited and I believe in you. So, like, I'm excited to see it.
Yeah. Well, if I can't sleep because I have shit on my mind with Ugly Bros, it's a good thing. And I mean, like, I'm saying this, and I know we're wrapping up. You got to go to the bathroom, but it's there are many different players in the game. I know what I'm capable of. Let's just say that, and I haven't even begun. But yeah, my man, a pleasure. Thank you so much. I wish you have a great day, and please go to the bathroom.
Thank you, bro. Back at you. I love you so much.